Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Chaplin. I'm a junior here at the University of Maryland. I'm currently an African American Studies major. However, this semester, I am designing my own major of Global Health Equity and Policy through the Individual Studies program. Fall 2015 was my first semester here at the University of Maryland. I was really proud of myself for all the work that I put in to get here, and my family was equally as proud as I was. My family was equally as proud as I was. Coming from a sheltered background, I knew that this would be a difficult transition for my family. I was ready to start this new chapter of my life, making my own decisions as an adult. What I did not anticipate was that my family and I would feud for over a year regarding the decisions I made in my personal dating life. Because of their fears, I would almost miss out on the second semester of my freshman year. A week before the beginning of my sophomore year, I decided to move my belongings out of my parents' home and into my aunt's. A month into my sophomore year, I began noticing changes in my energy levels. I was consistently exhausted. I was sleeping long and hard. I was sleeping through my alarm clocks, and it would take my roommates literally banging on my door in the morning just to wake me up. Because college was such a new experience for me, I struggled finding a balance between my personal life and my academic life. I felt like I was moving underwater. I was easily irritated. I was on edge because I felt helpless. Because of this, I brought unnecessary drama into my relationships. As a result, my living situation with my roommates began to deteriorate. In class, I had the hardest time focusing because my mind would wander and I'd start thinking about unrelated things, and I'd miss large segments of class. Doing homework was equally as challenging for me because I was either too tired to focus or I'd unintentionally distract myself. I became dismissive and avoidant of friends and loved ones because I felt like no one could really identify with the stress that I was feeling. Out of all my friends, I felt like the only one not enjoying their college experience. Due to all of these factors, my grades became lower. I brought unnecessary drama and conflict into my relationships. And at the time, I had various leadership positions, but I felt incompetent because I regularly made excuses and was excessively absent. I was so consumed by the college lifestyle that my mental health took a back seat. It was the last thing that I was worried about. I was kind of in the mindset of I gotta go, I have to accomplish, I have homework, I don't have time to really sit and think about how I'm feeling. I thought it'd be something that I'd just shake off, but unfortunately it wasn't. Because I felt I shouldn't have been so affected by the situation, I neglected to realize that I was suffering. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, I was exhibiting textbook signs of clinical or major depression. The symptoms are as follows: persistent sad, anxious, or empty mood, feelings of hopelessness or pessimism, feelings of guilt, worthlessness, helplessness, loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities, decreased energy, fatigue, being slowed down, which is similar to that underwater feeling I felt, difficulty sleeping, early morning awakening or oversleeping, appetite and or unwanted weight changes, thoughts of death or suicide attempts, restlessness, irritability, and persistent physical symptoms such as muscle pains and or headaches. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, if you or anyone you know are experiencing any of these symptoms every day for at least 2 weeks, it is advisable that you seek professional help. However, I went over 6 months feeling these symptoms. and as a result, I suffered. I do not recommend what I did to anyone. Rather than seeking professional help, I turned to my spirituality and my religion to motivate me and to help me see the bigger picture and realize that what I was going through would pass. Because of that, I eliminated unnecessary stressors in my life and I rearranged my priorities. I turned to my partner, my friends, and my family to confide in them and let them know how much I was struggling. Unfortunately, this is the narrative of many American college students. Although we're in college and we're motivated by our desire to succeed, we're such a great school, there's so many different resources and opportunities. It's great that there's so many of us that are taking advantage of these opportunities, but it's also important that we take the time to check in with ourselves and assess our mental well-being. There are so many resources available to us here on campus. My mental health was the last thing that I was concerned about. I had so many things to do. I was involved in so many different organizations. I was trying to be the best student that I could be. I felt that my mental health was something that could wait for me to handle, and I neglected to see that I was actually suffering until I looked at everything that happened and realized that I was in a bad position. If you or anyone you know can identify with how I was feeling or exhibit any of the symptoms shown by the National Institute of Mental Health, I advise you to please seek professional help. There are printouts of the National Institute of Mental Health symptoms on the front table. Please take them, and if they don't apply to you, perhaps pass them along to other people so that they too can check in with themselves. On my presentation, there's the Maryland Crisis Hotline Center, which is available to all Maryland residents. There's also the UMD Counseling Center, which has a plethora of different mental health services available free for UMD students. I leave you with this thought. The only thing more exhausting than having a mental illness is pretending that you do not. Thank you.